George Bush. Which one? The older one's dead, so they're probably not him. Yeah, it's Kim. Okay, next slide. She went from one to another. What did she do? What did she understand to get there? Keep going. Next slide, sorry. Next slide. Opportunity. Right? One of the things that this family is absolutely amazing at is figuring out where there's an opportunity and jumping on it. Okay? I'm not a huge fan, but I do admire their tenacity and their ability to spot an opportunity, right? And it started when she was hanging out with Nicole Richie, right? And other famous people. So she wasn't, the Kardashians were not famous, at least the girls weren't in the beginning. Their dad was famous, right? Because he was a very successful lawyer, shall we say, with some very successful clients. And they learned the power of celebrity. They learned from a young age what it is about celebrities and the whole lifestyle around famous people. What is it that other people want, right? They want to be like them, okay? And they took that message, pretty much all these girls, yeah? And grew it into this insanely massive, huge global brand that we now know as the Kardashians, yeah? And the Jenners, sorry, kind of mixed together there. But the main thing is understanding what people really, really want, what their aspirations are inside, and then become that thing, yeah? That's one way to get to success. Obviously, you have to have a lot of resources, which they did, right? But you have to have smarts here and understanding. Next slide. 4? Now? We already know because you've named them all. Yeah, okay. Anyway, next slide. Imagination. I think somebody said that, yeah? Okay. So going beyond what's possible today and more towards what could be, right? And this is really related to the idea of the problem and understanding why is this so bad, yeah? Think about, okay, this is what we have now, what can we have next? And a lot of the ideas that we saw yesterday, and today too, but I was doing this presentation last night, so, seemed maybe a little out of reach, right? Like the machine that's going to mend your clothing, okay? That's going to use AI to mend your clothing, yeah? So that seems like, yeah, okay, maybe we'll get there someday. But it's not that far off, right? Many of the ideas that you guys came up with actually are being worked on right now. Next slide. The shoes, right? Design and order your shoes. We saw in the earlier presentation, the fashion industry is actually adapting many, many parts of technology to take it into the next couple of decades. And one of them is that exact thing. Design your own shoes, we'll make them and send them to you, right? My son just did that with Nike. They didn't fit, but he tried. So there are a lot of changes that are going on out there right now that you may either consciously or unconsciously incorporate into your ideas. Next slide. A robotic machine that's making jeans, right? They put the very, very basic jean. These are all exactly the same pair, exactly the same. They stick it in the machine, and the machine custom tailors the jeans down to different sizes, okay? So that box that's going to mend your clothing is not so far away, after all. Next slide. The last thing that I want to talk about to you guys is persistence, okay? And persistence comes along with something else. It also comes along with help and resources. Like I said, many of you probably are going to stop at the end of your ideas. That's not a bad thing, okay? And if you all decide to continue them and really do want to make them into a company, that's fantastic. But it's also okay to stop. When you decide you want to move forward with something, make sure from the beginning that you reach out to the resources that are available to you, okay? Your professors, your mentors, people that you meet at events like this, your friends, your family. Ask them for help. Say, what can I do to move this forward? How can you help me, right? There is a lot of funding available, okay, from the European Union, from the Armenian government, from various different places, from foundations, lots and lots of help for people who want to build businesses, okay? And it's your job to find those resources and go after them, right? Don't think that you're too small or too early. Apply, okay? And I'll give you an example. This is a company called Lumen. Yesterday, we saw a startup that had the glasses, right? See-free? Yeah? There you guys. Okay. So I wanted to tell you, in particular, check these guys out. Okay, Lumen is making glasses for the blind. And what do these glasses do? They actually mimic what a seeing eye dog does. They're not trying to replace seeing eye dogs. When I first heard about them, I was like, well, that's terrible. I want people to have dogs, you know, because the seeing eye dog does so much more than just help you navigate, right? It provides you with love. It provides you with security and so forth. And then he explained to me, the founder, because I was talking with him, he explained, we don't want to replace seeing eye dogs, but there's only like 40,000 of them in the world right now. And it costs something like $60,000 to train one, right? And there's millions of blind people. So we want to give the ones who don't have access to seeing eye dogs the same functionality. So they designed these glasses. Next slide. Okay, that's Cornell, right? Amarie. He's from Romania. This is not a US startup, right? They're not from Silicon Valley. They're not from London. They're from Bucharest. They won what's called the sort of Nobel Prize of Industrial Design. It's called the Red Dot Design Award. Yeah, and it's a super prestigious award. They won it for the design of the glasses and the technology inside them. Yeah. Then they applied to what's called the EIC Accelerator. It's a European Union funded acceleration program, okay? Many of you went through a program at your universities, right? This is like that, but bigger, a lot bigger. And startups from all over Europe compete to get into there, all right? These guys were the first one from Romania to ever be accepted, yeah? They got 2.5 million euros from the European Union, and they're getting more money invested in their company because of that. All right? And the reason that they were able to do that is because from the very beginning, he reached out and asked for help. Okay? My company, Anthology, in addition to being a partner in projects like the Connect project here, okay, we're also partners in different kinds of European accelerators. Next slide. And this is one of them. Okay. We're giving up to 100,000 euros to startups who want to apply, right? This is money that the European Union says we think we can give to entrepreneurs to build their businesses because those businesses are going to give us great solutions, they're going to build jobs, and they're going to make the European Union and countries like Armenia, like Moldova, like Georgia, right, better, more competitive. And the whole reason that they can do that is because people who are making businesses like you guys want and need investment. So I encourage you, okay, very, very strongly to look for opportunities, all right, and talk to people about what you're doing, yeah? Carry a photo around of your glasses on your phone. And wherever you talk to somebody or find someone, pull out your phone and say, here, this is what I'm building, yeah? Where's the restaurant? Where's the restaurant app? Are you guys here? Dine, there you go. Fine dining, yes. Carry it around on your phone. Talk to people. Ask them for help. Help comes in lots of ways, right? Help can come from restaurants. Help can come from somebody who, like our judges here, who have, you know, an interest in that kind of technology. You'll never know where you're going to find help. So be sure to talk about your idea and get help as soon as you can. And that's all I have to say for today. Thank you very much. And Mariam has gone. So, oh, yeah, I think she's with the jury. So you guys, somebody can come up here and dance. Oh, sure, sorry.
I would like to know the secret for success for you based on your experience. So you keep mentioning, keep on going, showing and telling a lot of things. But sometimes you have doubts. Sometimes you are feeling not 100% sure. How personalities people can overcome that difficulty? It is easy to say, show everybody, show you, take your phone, but how actually, and how to be sure that the thing that you are trying to keep people's belief is something very like extraordinary or really worth to pay attention to it.
It's hard. And there are days when you feel like there's no point to continue this, and there are days when you feel like I don't want to talk to anyone about it. I think that the passion can come and go, and it's okay to take one day off, although maybe some of the startup founders would disagree with me on that. But you know, the thing is, your idea and your business are only as good as the founder. They're not going to go anywhere without you. And so as long as you can keep faith in it, you're going to continue to go forward. One trick that works for me is to think about failures and successes and not put myself in either of those positions, but somewhere in the middle and say, okay, how far do I have to go to fail? How far do I have to go to succeed? And usually that helps me stay grounded. But I would like to ask to answer that question as well, because he's right in the middle of that particular journey.
Actually, don't start startup.
Он тоже спикер. Он выступал до меня. Из какой компании? Он Шабаш?
Okay. Actually, don't start startup as soon as you don't believe in your idea fully. So, as
But sometimes, I'm sorry, but sometimes you can be sure that that is something great and you can, I don't know, achieve the whole world. Meanwhile, it is not.
oh, look, as I mentioned, you should have a bunch of ideas, and you should be ready to delete them if nobody is believing in it, because actually you need clients to get money. You need at least one person who will pay you, because the capitalistic world is working like this. If you want to earn, you should get it from someone. So back in 19, it was like
You have one. Sorry, you have one who is ready to pay you, but by the time you are, let's say, developing, growing up, your costs are getting higher and higher. So you actually need some additional funds to cover all the expenses. But you have, let's say, 10 clients who are ready to pay you. So
that's
what's
okay.
next? What's next? You don't have enough sufficient funds.
As a startup founder, I should say that first of your job is pitching. As already was mentioned, you should pitch every minute and believe it's getting easier and easier, and try to analyze what you hear like back. Try to analyze and be more flexible. It's the main thing. You should be more flexible, because the world is nowadays is growing like fantastically fast, and you should be flexible to survive. There's no other way.
Based on my experience, speaking frankly, I used to be a project manager for Armenian Startup Foundation, and that was a time when I saw a lot of startups, great ideas, but 90% of them failed. Why they failed? Because they really believe in what they are doing. They were doing really hard pitching, the different sessions, conferences, but they failed. And the reason that they failed, as per their words, was financial crisis, financial problems. And although they do have clients and people who supported them, but they failed.
Yeah, that's okay. That's 100% okay. And I have failed like 5 times before. I have started many businesses. I have succeeded 2. I have working 3 businesses right now, but I have failed like 5 times. First, my business was innovative winemaking. We were making molecular wine. There is nothing like this in the world, but we failed, and that's okay. It's
do you
just a
have clients?
competition. Huh?
But
Yeah,
did you have
yeah.
that time clients?
Do you remember Yerevan days?
Uh-huh.
First year, we were the most sold wine.
And why do you fail later?
That is that is another
That's
story
rather
to
interesting,
why
you know. I
startups
think
fail.
this conference is for this type of experience changing. I mean, not only for
Yeah.
pitching. So I would like to hear.
Look, startups are the same businesses. Can I? Startups are the same businesses as like you decided to open a vegetable store around the corner in your the side of your home. That's the same. It's business first of all. So it's competition. It's fighting for every client, and these kind of things are for making you more professional, more inspirational. But anyways, it's business, and as everybody say, business is business. So there's a bunch of things you can like fail because of which you can fail, but there is a bunch of things you can succeed because of. So it depends on timing, problem, and yourself.
So why do you fail? Why did you fail? Please answer the last question. It's very interesting.
For winemaking?
Why did you fail? You had a great
It was my
sales.
it was my first startup. It was my first fail. I got to the university in Germany, in Bremen. I decided to go further on my education, and there was some problems in that years connecting with embassy. I just get everything I wanted. I have already house there, tickets. I quit my job in Philip Morris International, closed my winemaking small factory, and didn't get visa.
Oh my God.
That was the first failure.
Thank you. Stay. One of the things I think, going to the heart of your question, can we keep going for a few minutes? Okay, until the jury comes back, is finances, right? Money, yeah? And that's something, first of all, this is maybe not the right thing to say, but the idea is often the easy part, yeah? We all have great ideas. Most of us come up with 2 or 3 every day, every week, in your sleep, in the shower, in the car, whatever, right? On the bus. You know, ideas are cheap, yeah? Implementation is expensive and hard. And so when it comes to actually implementing a business, one of the major problems that we see with startup founders is they don't have a good grasp of how much money it will cost to run a business, right? And they make assumptions like, oh, well, I won't pay myself a salary for the first 2 years.
We're not getting 18 months, no salary. 7 people working.
Right. You have to live somehow, okay? So if you have to live, unless you have money, investments, whatever, right? But if you have to live and work a job to pay your rent, pay for food, pay for gas, pay for your phone, pay for everything you need to pay for, plus work on your startup on the side, right? What does that mean? It means you don't sleep a lot. And when you don't sleep a lot, you get less productive, right? And you make mistakes, and you get mad, and people don't like to work with you anymore. And so it puts a great strain. Your family doesn't talk to you, right? And I know this from personal experience. It's a very difficult thing to run 2 businesses on 1 salary, okay? So when you're doing your startup budget, you need to take into account things like, I need to pay myself enough to live. I need to pay my co-founders enough. Somehow we have to get the money. And if we don't have the money now, what other resources do we have to cover that, right? And then when it gets into selling your product or making your product, how much is it really going to cost, right? Not just, okay, I think I can do it for this, and my brother is a programmer and he's going to write the code, and then we're going to get, a bunch of deals, right? No, you have to put the numbers down. Even if you can't do them all, you have to put them down because the numbers won't lie. So the biggest problem for founders and the reason why most startups fail is funding. That's true. Doesn't necessarily mean they didn't get the right investment. It usually means they didn't manage their money the right way. Okay, so if you don't have someone on your team that knows about finances, get one. Get help. Again, it goes back to that. Make sure you have the right resources.
Yeah, that's the second thing. You should know who you need, first of all. You can like take advices from everybody, yeah, that can help, that can generate ideas for you, but you should know who you go to and what you ask for. When we started, we had a middle team of data scientists. We found advisors, the best ones in Armenia, I'm pretty sure, from Crisp, from Podcastle, and many companies. And they are coming every week to our office and giving us advices. Now I have a team that is professional in voice recognition and voice AI. That's how it works. You should know to whom you are going to. That's the most important thing. And of course, don't give up because it won't be easy. Like you won't get funding in first year, like 99.9% you won't get it. You should work, and you should prove. For example, you are coming to here pitching one time. Okay, how will you force me to give me your money? I'm the investor. I'm giving you $100,000. You can say goodbye and go. I need at least to believe in you. At least I need to see you 1 year that you are dedicated, you are working, you are growing, you did something without me. That's when I will come. But from first time, nobody will give his money to you. And that's okay. That's normal.
Thanks, you guys, for staying awake and sticking around. And good luck.